Hello, lovely SST students and parents. I will read the book Pax to you from Sarah Pennypacker. We have this book in the library, so if you like it, you can go up there and borrow it. I'll read you the first few pages. I hope you enjoy it. The fox felt the car slow before the boy did, as he felt everything first. Through the pads of his paws, along his spine, in the sensitive whiskers at his wrists. By the vibrations he learned also that the road had grown coarser. He stretched up from his boy's lap and sniffed at threads of scent leaking through the window, which told him they were now travelling into woodlands. The sharp odours of pine wood, bark, cones and needles slithered through the air like blades, but beneath that the fox recognized softer clover and white garlic and ferns, and also 100 things he had never encountered before. But that smelled green and urgent. The boy sensed something now too. He pulled his pet back to him and gripped his baseball glove more tightly. The boy's anxiety surprised the fox. The few times they had travelled in the car before, the boy had been calm or even excited. The fox nudged his muzzle into the glove's webbing, although he hated the leather smell. His boy always laughed when he did this. He would close the glove around his pet's head, play wrestling, and in this way the fox would distract him. But today the boy lifted his pet and buried his face in the fox's white ruff, pressing hard. It was then that the fox realized his boy was crying. He twisted round to study his face to be sure. Yes, crying, although without a sound, something the fox had never known him to do. The boy hadn't shed tears for a very long time, but the fox remembered. Always before he had cried out, as if to demand that attention to be paid to the curious occurrence of salty water streaming from his eyes. The fox licked at the tears and then grew more confused. There was no scent of blood. He squirmed out of the boy's arms to inspect his human more carefully, alarmed that he could have failed to notice an injury, although his sense of smell was never wrong. No blood. Not even the underskin pooling of a bruise or the mere leak of cracked bone, which had happened once. The car pulled to the right, and the suitcase beside them shifted. By its scent, the fox knew it held the boy's clothing and the things from his room he handled most often, the photo he kept on top of his bureau, and the items he hid in the bottom drawer. He paused at the corner, hoping to pry the suitcase open enough for the boy's weak nose to smell these favorite things and be comforted. But just then the car slowed again, at this time to a rumbling crawl. The boy slumped forward, his head in his hands. The fox's heartbeat climbed at the brushy hairs of his tail lifted. The charred metal scent of the father's new clothing was burning in his throat. He leaped to the window and scratched at it. Sometimes at home his boy would raise a similar glass wall if he did this. He always felt better when the glass wall was lifted. Instead, the boy pulled him down on his lap again and spoke to his father in a begging tone. The fox had learned the meaning of many human words, and he heard him use the word, one of them now, no. Often the no word was linked to one of the two names he knew, his own and his boy's. He listened carefully, but today it was just the no, played it to the father over and over.